So we are gonna be dyeing roving today. I have it soaking right here. I've never dyed roving before. I have dyed yarn once, but not roving. I have undyed roving from Cheviot sheep. Actually, I'll show you what it looks like in its non-wet form. It smells just like a sheep. Like there is a strong scent, but it's so soft and fluffy, and I cannot wait to dye it. So I weighed out, it was like 107 grams, which is right over here. I'm gonna drain this, fill it back up with water, and then start the dye process. Here it is. I have to be extremely careful with roving because it will felt way faster than yarn. So I have to make sure the temperatures are consistent, not too hot, not boiling, because it will absolutely felt. I just mixed up all of the dyes. This is what we're working with. We have like a reddish brown, a coolish brown. This is like as brown as I could get. I hope it doesn't turn out red because I hate red. We have a purple that's like a little bit on the warm side, a blue, a darker green, and then a very cool lavender purple. I'm really scared about this one actually. So I think I'm ready to just get in here. I'm gonna turn my burners on very low. Okay, here we go. So this has been cooling. It literally looks black. Like I messed up somehow, and I know how I did. I definitely added way too much brown. I think the brown just had too much dye in it, and it like took over the whole thing. Of course, once I rinse this and everything, it could look totally different, which I'm hoping for, but I'm definitely gonna do a second batch of roving. So when this pan is available, I'm gonna start back up with another batch. And this is like still, it's warm-ish, but I think I'm gonna start draining it now just because I'm impatient, but I'm gonna do it really gently. I'm not gonna shock it. I'm gonna try my best not to agitate it. I'm also so afraid that I felted it because I was checking the temperature with a thermometer, and you want it to be like 180 to 190. And it never got up to 200, or at least not when I was checking it, but it did seem like this area was bubbling. You know, this is my first time. It's also an experiment, so we'll see what happens. So I tried to match the temperature of this water to what this is. It's like very lukewarm. Also, I don't know if you can see, but there are some colors showing up. I'm interested to see how this turns out. I'm gonna gently pick it up, pop it over here. There's some blue on the backside, that's good. Also, the dye did not fully exhaust. If you see, there's still some like blue in here. That's okay. I think it's dyed enough. I'm just gonna rinse first in clean water, and then I'm going to do another rinse with some wool wash just to make sure all of the excess dye is out of here. I definitely think it felted in some spots, but I think it's still usable. I did get some color, definitely. It's definitely dark. Not what I expected, but you know, it'll be fine. It'll work just fine. And I'm just gonna hang it on this rack. So I'm now gonna soak my second batch of roving. I'm gonna do it in the sink, and then I will transfer it over into this pan. You just gotta make sure all the air bubbles are out. This is very fluffy roving, so there's a lot of air in it. You can kind of see it like floating in there. I'm gonna let this soak for about 30 minutes, and then we will get on with dyeing. Let's get started. Let's see how this will turn out. Hopefully better than the first. So for this batch, I decided to go a lot lighter and a lot more colorful. I used lighter colors first, and then I speckled on some blue and yellow and just a tiny bit of brown, just a little bit. As you can see, after some time, the colors really soaked in to the roving, and it's definitely different than what I expected. Again. Okay, I have my roving. What an interesting experience. It's definitely different than dyeing yarn. I think that it like soaks in more of the color and it spreads more, which in turn can lead to like muddiness, which we saw with this one. I mean, I used a lot of brown, like so much brown, and the brown took over. It really did. Now it did leave some lighter spots, which is cool. And there's some blue and a tiny bit of like lavender in there. So I still think it's gonna make a really cool yarn. yarn. And this one I was like, okay, I'm gonna go so much lighter. I did all of the lighter colors first. I did a tiny bit of brown in some spots. It still turned out somewhat dark. I really think it's because of the dark brown that I used. I put a lot of like jet black in it, and I think that black is really coming out. It is lighter than the other one. It's definitely green blue. I don't see too much purple at all. There's like maybe some like right there. It's actually more of like a pink-ish. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, as I have fiber in my eyeball, I'm thinking that there's two ways I can go about this. I can spin them separately and then ply them together, or I could take sections of like this one and then take sections of this one and then spin them kind of like striped almost. So like this one, this one, this one, all right? And I could do that for 2 singles and then ply those together. So I might just sit with this for a few days and figure out what I want to do, because I'm not sure, but I'm very excited to get to spinning it. Like, I'm so excited to spin this. I want to do it like now, but I also want to make sure I have a good idea before I start doing that. Those are my results. Funky. But now I know for next time when I want to dye some roving, which I still have so much of it, go really light. When I looked up YouTube videos, like a lot of people weren't doing like a low immersion that I was doing. They were just kind of like speckling on dry dye powder onto wet roving, and then they like rolled it up or something and steamed it, something like that. Maybe I'll try that next time and see what we can get. So I have spun up some of the roving that I dyed. I also figured out drafting. I was having some issues with that, and last night it just kind of clicked, and I will show you an example. First, let me show you these. This is the brown one. It's not too bad. It needs to be plied with something. I really don't like this shade of brown. It's like a yellowy green brown. It's just not the best. This one is the blue one. This one is actually so pretty. There were varying colors of green, like dark forest green to lighter green, and then little bits of blue. So beautiful. And there were like some pieces of like purpley pink or something, but didn't really come through as much. So I'm thinking of applying these together. I think that they'll turn out well. So this one is half of the brown, and this one is also half of the brown. And I'm gonna show you up close what I mean. It's pretty much like thick pieces of yarn that have just been twisted. It's not like actual yarn. As you can see, this is the other half. I got way more over here. They're thinner, they're more consistent. I also want to show you the squish because it's fascinating. This one is soft and I can squish it. This one is like rock hard. Like, I can barely squish it. It's just hard, it's over twisted, and it's not good. So I'm not really sure what I want to do with this one. This one though is so squishy and it's soft, and same with this one, nice and squishy. I really would like to have gotten 2 hanks of the plied. So I don't know if I can like take this out somehow and get the roving back like a little bit looser. It might be like totally twisted together too much. I'm afraid I might have too many like breaks or something, and it's been sitting on this bobbin for a few days. So I might try to just unspin it and try to save it, because I still have 1/2 of the blue over here, and like I said, I wanted 2 hanks. But I did go to a local yarn shop here in Denver. They are called Blazing Star Ranch, and they have a store in, I think it's Inglewood, and then they have like an actual ranch in Elizabeth, Colorado, which is like a little bit southeast of Denver, and they sell alpaca wool from their alpaca farm. I think that's all they have is alpaca. They sell spinning wheels, all of them were like treadle wheels. I didn't see any like e-spinners. They also had like a ton of roving, of course, and hanks of yarn as well. They don't sell like any acrylic or anything. It's all indie hand-dyed yarn. There is Malabrigo, that's like the only commercial one that they sell. And I bought one thing. It is this right here. So beautiful. This is 4 ounces, and and I had to look it up to see what it was. It says that it's 60% recycled wool, 40% recycled sari silk. I think it's so beautiful. It's actually pretty soft. I love a good neutral toned yarn with like specks of color. So pretty. I try to think of the things that I want to wear, and this is more something I would wear rather than some of the more colorful ones. They had so many beautiful like blue and purple ones and all that, but if I make something out of that, I might not wear it. So that's why I got this one. It's gonna be exciting to see how this spins up. It'll be interesting. So now I am going to ply these two together and see what I can get. I have applied this. I think it looks good. Yeah, I think it'll make kind of a cool hat, maybe like a beanie thing. I'm gonna weigh it, 99.1. I really wanted 100, but whatever, I'll take 99. Ooh, and it's so squishy. Ooh, that feels so good. So I'm gonna let this sit on the bobbin overnight, and then tomorrow I will wash it and dry it and all that, and we can see how it turns out. So to finish up this yarn, I wound it up on my Swift. I definitely got so much of it, way more than any of my other yarns for sure. It looks so good. I then soaked it for 15 minutes in a wool wash bath, squeezed out all of the excess water, rolled it up in a towel to get rid of the remaining moisture in there. And here I am setting the twist by kind of snapping it between my hands and rotating it to make sure I set every twist in that yarn. After doing that, you can tell that it looks more tamed in a way. And then I hung it on a hanger with my trusty vinegar bottle at the bottom. And then I just hang it there for a whole day until it is dry. All right, so I have finished my 4th hank of yarn. My hanks still need a little bit of work. I don't know. The top is always so loose, even when I twist even more. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but this is what it looks like. And I will also show you what it looks like in natural light. I like it. I think it's better than like having just plain brown because that brown was so ugly. I like how there's varying browns throughout the strands, but also varying greens and blues. And it's like no inch is the same. They're all different. And now I'm gonna weigh it, 99, that's it. And it was 121.7, so like 122 yards, which is so good. That's my longest one yet. You can actually do something with 120 yards for sure. And I'm also going to make another one of these. Before I spun the brown for this, I spun a brown already, like I showed you, and it was so hard or whatever. So I undid it all. I untwisted it with the help of the machine. Then I had to go through and untwist by hand and then draft it so it would be fluffy like this. And I did that to the whole thing. So I need to spin this, and then I'm gonna spin the other blue I have right here, and I'm gonna make another one. So that'll be 2, and hopefully it'll be about 200 yards. It's not too bulky. It's like between worsted and a little bit above worsted and maybe some bulky parts, but it's not too bad. So I'll let you know how that one looks compared to this one. Hopefully they're similar.